First at noon, here's a live look at Los Angeles, where the city is bracing for a fifth day of protests over immigration raids. President Trump has doubled the number of National Guard troops being sent to patrol the city to 4,000. Now, California's governor calls the move illegal, and he's challenging the administration in court. Danya Bacchus has the latest from LA.
Police and small groups of protesters clashed in Los Angeles for a fourth night.
This is not right. They should not be coming into our city and shooting us with rubber bullets while we're trying just to express our concerns, just to get them to do things a different way.
Police say they arrested nearly 100 people following isolated instances of violence and looting, like at this Apple store in downtown Los Angeles.
The unrest that has happened are a few blocks within the downtown area. It is not all of downtown, and it is not all of the city.
On Monday, President Trump doubled the number of National Guard troops deployed to LA to 4,000. 700 Marines have also arrived. LA Mayor Karen Bass insists the uninvited military presence is unnecessary and accuses the president of escalating tensions.
I feel like we've all been in Los Angeles a part of a grand experiment to see what happens when the federal government decides they want to roll up on a state or roll up on a city and take over.
As these protests continue, today state officials asked a federal judge to grant a temporary restraining order that blocks troops from engaging in law enforcement activities such as searches and arrests. Protesters have also taken to the streets in other cities, including Dallas and San Francisco.
This is the community talking, right? So it shows that we know that immigrants are part of our community. These are the folks that we work with, go to school with, my kid goes to school with.
Tuesday, President Trump said he hasn't ruled out invoking the Insurrection Act. He also put other cities on notice if demonstrations get out of hand.
I can inform the rest of the country that when they do it, if they do it, they're going to be met with equal or greater force than we met right here.
He added troops will remain in Los Angeles, quote, until there is no danger. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now to Europe, one of the worst school shootings in years. At least 10 people are dead in the city of Graz in Austria. Police say the gunman is a 21-year-old former student who killed himself after the violence. Students and at least one adult are among the dead. Several others were seriously injured. The motive at this time is unknown. On Oahu, the gunman is still on the loose after a shooting in Kalihi. It happened at around 9 o'clock last night at Kalihi Valley homes. HPD says that's when two men approached a vehicle that had just driven into the area, and after knocking on the window, one of them opened fire and hit a 27-year-old. He was rushed to the hospital in serious condition. The gunman ran, and neither suspect has been found. If you have any information on this shooting, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. And also in Kalihi, a 33-year-old man has been arrested for attempted murder after HPD says he drove a stolen vehicle at officers. It happened at around 12:30 a.m. District 5 officers with the Crime Reduction Unit spotted the vehicle and conducted a traffic stop. As they approached, officials say the suspect revved the engine and drove toward them, nearly hitting the three officers. Now, the suspect hit two unmarked police vehicles and came to a stop. He was arrested along with his passenger, another 33-year-old male who also had a warrant. A political shakeup at Honolulu Hale after a vote on sewer rates last week. Darrell Huff says two council members who voted against the chairman may be losing their leadership positions.
It's a very difficult decision to go either way.
Wednesday was a tough night for council members, not only having to vote to raise sewer rates, but having to choose between Council Chair Tommy Waters and powerful Budget Chair Tyler Dos Santos Tam.
This is a sort of votes that politicians hate to take often. I mean, they often try to finesse their way around these.
Waters had proposed millions in budget cuts to reduce the sewer fee. The mayor opposed that and supported Dos Santos Tam's plan, which would raise rates over 6 years, 9% in each of the last 3. And Waters tried to get him to say that out loud.
Thank you. And to be clear, that was 6.75% the first year, 7.75% the second year.
If you take the overall amount, yes, but for different families, it'll be different amounts.
Again, so 6, 7, 8, and then followed by how many years of 9% increases? 2 or actually 3 or 4.
If you, again, it's if you
When
take
they
the
voted,
average,
Dos
it
Santos
ends up
Tam was
being
supported
the
by
last
Radiant
four
Cordero
years, starting in
and Matt
2028,
Wire, Val
29,
Okimoto,
30,
and Augie Tolba.
And I'm a no. Measure passes 5-4. Okay. Moving on.
Well, maybe not moving on completely. 2 days later, a resolution appeared that would replace Wire as vice chair with Andrea Tupola and Cordero as floor leader with Esther Kia-Aina.
Leaders in legislative bodies have a small number of carrots, chairmanships and things like that, and they tend to give them to people who are on their team. So, I mean, this is how you keep your members, quote unquote, in line.
Wire said it won't affect his work for his North Shore district.
And I think as a body, folks are able to decide who they want in leadership, but it doesn't change the role of a council member. And I still expect to work collaboratively with everybody.
Chair Waters declined an interview, but in a statement said the change was to bring more experience and innovation into leadership. While change can be uncomfortable, he wrote, it is often necessary. Our responsibility is not to protect titles. It is to serve the public with honesty, vision, and tangible results. Chairman Waters has set a special meeting to vote on new leadership next Tuesday. Dos Santos Tam did not have a comment, but it's possible his position as budget chair is also in jeopardy. Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Daryl. Hawaii Island's main food distribution center is bracing for federal cuts. About half of Hawaii Island's food basket budget comes from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which is facing steep budget pullbacks. The center in Hilo says it's looking to increase fundraising, but it's unlikely to meet the needs of the community. 91-year-old Milton Rabisa, a retired bus driver, says without the food basket and Meals on Wheels, he would not have any food on the table.
It helps a lot, very much. So I thank God for that.
That's going to be devastating. We have a lot of families that are here. Some have 2 working in the household or more. Those with children, we're seeing a lot more regulars now than we used to.
To donate, you can head to hawaiifoodbasket.org. Happening now, an important milestone at the Queens Medical Center. Casey Lund has more on what this will mean for the community.
Now, aloha from that newly expanded emergency department here at Queens Punch Bowl. I want to introduce Dr. Daniel Cheng. He is the Chief of Emergency Services here. I want to ask you a little bit, as we have this sign here behind us, the reason for all this and how this came to be, the Uitangsu family, and then the donation that made this possible.
Yeah, when I think of the Uitangsu family, and we're just completely blessed to have the generosity, so many parallels from the founding of this hospital 165 years ago. 1859, our King Kamehameha IV, Queen Emma, they had a vision providing healthcare for Native Hawaiian people, the people of Hawaii, but they didn't have all the resources, right? So the people at that time, the community, reached in, provided the resources, foundation of Queens set. Fast forward to 2025, the needs, the healthcare needs of Hawaii is still there. And we have a family, the community out there, the Uitangsu family, the Wo family, coming in, providing those much needed resources.
And we want to mahalo them this morning and always. Why don't we take a walk inside?
Yeah, absolutely.
If we don't, I'll let you go ahead and tell me a little bit about some of the features of this that will make the care improve overall for everybody here in Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, beyond being a new facility, we've doubled our size. So much more safe space to provide the high level quality of care. But with the new space, it's the efficiency of the build. So it's built in a typical racetrack, we call it, emergency system, where we allow our patients to be around in a kind of a circular space with our healthcare providers in the middle. And this way we have kind of a 360 view. It just allows for much more efficiency for them to come through the waiting room, be seen, and then once their care is done, quickly kind of be discharged for the next patient.
I got a question for you, too. Of course, it's all about improving patient care.
Absolutely.
But you have to think about the fact that the folks who have to work here are doing a very stressful job. And when things are broken, not working, or dilapidated, what does it do to have kind of the best for your team here to kind of keep morale up? I mean, really, it's a tough job.
You hit it on the head, Casey. I mean, retention and recruitment, it's the core of what kind of makes a strong ER group. And I'm blessed to have an amazing ER team. Probably one of the biggest parts I'm also so excited about is that we have an amazing facility for our team to recover or even to prepare for the shift on the 3rd floor. And every given time we have about 50 healthcare providers. And really, it's just not easy to work in the emergency room. So having a spot where they can really recover or prep has been invaluable.
Yeah, probably a rare sight here, seeing things as quiet as it is.
This is as quiet as it's ever going to get, Casey.
Dr. Cheng, I want to thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely.
And for the work that you and your team do. Again, we'll be here throughout the day talking about this. And again, mahalo to the Uitangsu family for making this all possible. Details at hawaiinewsnow.com. We'll send things back into the studio for now.
Thank you, Case. We'll get ready to pay more for parking at the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. Rates are going up starting July 1st. For stays between 1 and 2 hours, the increase is $1. Rates for parking longer than 2 hours will go up $2, and all-day rates beyond 8 hours will now be $27. By the year 2027, the all-day rate will be $30.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's take a look outside from our live tower cam. It's 86 degrees, very warm out there. East-northeasterlies around 15 miles per hour and absolutely gorgeous. Just taking a look out there. Just beautiful from our tower cam. You can see Aloha Tower right there. We're going to be in the green throughout the rest of today. Maybe a few showers possible late tonight into the early morning. That's where we're seeing a little bit more impactful weather. Most of the rainfall over the next couple of days is going to be focused over Mauka locations, and going forward, we'll be seeing drier afternoons. So we've got breezy trade winds out there right now. However, they're a little bit weaker than what we're expecting this weekend. We're likely going to be seeing some sustained trades getting closer to 20 to 25 miles per hour, maybe even stronger as we're going into this weekend. I'll give you a breakdown on that and our first alert radar and satellite coming up.
Thank you, Drew. Ahead on This Is Now, as the city takes action to save Oahu's trees from the coconut rhinoceros beetle, its efforts to inject them with chemicals is drawing criticism. Plus this.
Cleaning house. RFK Jr. fires every member of the CDC's committee that makes recommendations on vaccines. I'm Naomi Ruckham with reaction to the sweeping move, including frustration among American doctors.
Welcome back. Crews are injecting hundreds of trees with pesticides from Kaka'ako Waterfront Park through Kewalo Basin to Magic Island. But some people are worried about the environment, and they're trying to come up with safer solutions. Derek Kravitsky has more.
The lush Aina Mama Farms in Kahaluu grows coconuts for the community to enjoy. Owner Daniel Anthony says he only uses holistic methods to fend off the coconut rhinoceros beetle, including this solution of sulfur and other natural ingredients such as soluble calcium.
100% natural products. No pesticides, no herbicides, no granular fertilizers.
This is just like how you would treat your body. Eat healthy foods, you're healthy. Feed your plants what you would eat, your plants are going to be healthy.
But because the invasive bugs often travel through compost, Anthony also relies on a portly predator to kill the pests. About a dozen pigs eat beetle larvae in contaminated mulch.
We flip the script. The larvae now becomes a food source.
Anthony is urging officials to follow his lead and only use natural solutions, opposed to their current treatments of Zytec, a pesticide the city is injecting into 800 trees from Kaka'ako to Ala Moana. Environmentalists are concerned because Zytec is highly toxic to bees and could potentially contaminate fruits and leach into water. But the city says their crew's targeted approach of drilling a hole in each tree, shooting a small amount, then plugging the hole mitigates risks.
So basically, there's no drift. They're not soaking the soil. It's not sprayed in the ground. Right. The intent of this, the chemical use, is to make it as least invasive as possible. One, to the tree, and then exposure to the public.
The city also says using Zytec requires crews to cut fruits and flowers from the tree to prevent the solution from being consumed by humans and other non-targeted insects.
That's the way parks have always been, generally. Right? They don't leave the coconuts on the trees because they don't want to hit somebody and kill them.
The state ag department says they're open to Anthony's natural solutions, primarily for food-producing trees, and even awarded him a grant to explore using his pigs to prevent CRB spread. 6 months into a year-long test, officials say if the strategy proves successful, it could be considered as a long-term solution. But for now, this proven method is the state's quickest solution to protect trees on Hawaii's most populated coastline. Derek Kravitsky, Hawaii News Now.
When a shocking move for the nation's medical community, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is firing every member of a government panel that makes vaccine recommendations. Naomi Ruckham shares reaction and what this means for the vaccine process moving forward.
Major changes are in store at the CDC. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is ousting all 17 members of the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices. In an opinion piece published in the Wall Street Journal, Kennedy wrote that the committee has been plagued with persistent conflicts of interest and has become little more than a rubber stamp for any vaccine. The sweeping decision is leaving America's medical leaders in shock.
This is really unprecedented.
CBS News medical contributor Dr. Salim Gounder says there are also reports that RFK Jr. is planning to censor what data is presented at the meetings of this high-level panel.
This entire process is being injected with ideology in a way that will compromise trust in public health.
The American Medical Association quickly responded, releasing a statement citing the ongoing measles outbreak and a decline in routine child vaccination rates. And the American Academy of Pediatrics slammed the firing, saying, "We are witnessing an escalating effort by the administration to silence independent medical expertise and stoke distrust in life-saving vaccines." This comes after the CDC under Kennedy's leadership recently changed its views on the COVID-19 vaccine, terminating recommendations for healthy children and healthy pregnant women. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
And stick around, your first alert forecast coming up after the break. Stronger trade winds expected this weekend and a couple of windward showers.
Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's take a look at our First Alert weather headlines. Getting started, we've got stronger trade winds out there expected by the time we get to this weekend. They'll be a little bit stronger by Thursday and Friday. Also, a couple of showers out there, mostly windward and Melka showers going forward. Let's start off with our island by island forecast. This is for Wednesday. Over on Kauai, we've got scattered showers, a better chance for windward rainfall over the next couple of days. Of course, the best chance for rainfall with this summer-like pattern will be in the overnight to early morning. Not seeing that much rainfall out there throughout the afternoon. Mostly sunny over Oahu with some spotty showers out there. 88 in town tomorrow, so relatively warm. 82 in Kaneohe, 86 in Kapolei. Moving over to Maui County, 84 in Kaunakakai, 77 in Lanai City, mostly sunny and breezy, 88 in Kahului, and also 88 in Kihei, so relatively warm out there. A little bit of cloud cover over Waikoloa and Kailua Kona tomorrow, and also a few showers out there. Still a little bit foggy. Hilo around 83, spotty showers and mostly sunny. Scattered showers and more cloud cover expected over the northern portions of Hawaii Island. Still a little bit breezy out there, 10 to 15 mile per hour trade winds. You can see going forward in our First Alert windcast, these winds are going to get stronger as we go into Wednesday and Thursday, between 15 to 20 miles per hour for Wednesday afternoon, and around 15 to 20 miles per hour for Thursday afternoon as well. And here's our surf and shoreline forecast. Northwest and south facing shores all dropping for this afternoon. A little bit choppy out there on east facing shores. We're going to be seeing small surf over the next couple of days. A small south-southwest swell is going to arrive as we're getting into Friday of this upcoming week, and might boost south facing shores for this weekend. Our First Alert radar and satellite, just giving you a quick glimpse at what we're seeing out there right now. Not much rainfall, a little band of clouds moving in between Maui County and Hawaii Island. A few sprinkles along the Ko'olau and along Kamehameha Highway. Moving over to Maui County, a few sprinkles over near Hana. There's that band of clouds moving in towards the northern portions of Hawaii Island and moving towards Waimea. Not much rainfall out there, however. Kauai's been relatively quiet. We've seen a few leeward showers pop up over near Kekaha. Of course, we're still tracking the tropics. It's hurricane season now. We've got two storms out in the eastern Pacific. Tropical Storm Cosme and also Tropical Storm Barbara. Barbara was a Category 1 hurricane yesterday. Both of these storms are going to collapse and completely dissipate by the time we get to this upcoming Wednesday and Thursday. Another area just behind it, a high chance for development over the next 7 days. And a quick look at our First Alert 7-day forecast. Kamehameha Day looking to be really nice and sunny. And Father's Day, don't forget Dad, coming up on Sunday. It's going to be breezy and sunny.
Thanks, Drew. Still to come, a Chicago zoo is celebrating its first baby dolphin in more than a decade, and the birth was caught on camera. That's coming up in today's Good News Now. news now. A magical moment caught on camera as a Chicago zoo welcomes its first baby dolphin in a decade.
A momentous event, they say, is making waves. Jeremy Roth has the details.
Watch the incredible moment a baby bottlenose dolphin is born and takes its first bubbly breaths on camera. The momentous event was captured at Chicago's Brookfield Zoo, where animal care teams had been monitoring Allie, an expectant bottlenose dolphin. Allie can be seen swimming alongside another female dolphin while sporting a pair of tails, the smaller of which belonging to the emerging calf. Then it happens. The baby bottlenose appears and heads to the surface to take its very first breath. The zoo said they are closely monitoring the calf and say it and Allie seem to be thriving. They also said this little splash has caused a wave of excitement as it was the first dolphin calf born at the zoo in over a decade. Another momentous birthday milestone, this one not at sea, but by air, where a retired Missouri State Trooper celebrated 90 years on Earth by jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. The gravity-defying experience was on Joe Cook's bucket list, and KYTV reports he ended up sharing it with his granddaughter, who also has a birthday the same week. The B-Day bailout was a success, and after floating back to solid ground, Joe was ready to take the leap of faith again.
It's a blast, and I'd do it again tomorrow.
Finally, one last celebration of life, this one in the form of a message in a bottle. Found off the UK's east coast, the bottle contained ashes and a note reading, "This is my mum. Throw her back in. She's traveling the world." According to People magazine, a woman grieving her mother's recent passing had put her remains to sea because she had never been able to see the world. The family that found the bottle followed orders and cast it back in, keeping the family's loving final wish for their dearly departed afloat. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.